So, despite the divisive sequel to the original Zelda actually doing well in the market, a few years had passed since the world had last seen a Zelda game, and the only thing to fill the void was this monstrosity. Yeah, get the hell away from me. So, one day fate would shine upon the world when Nintendo unveiled the next installment of the franchise, The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. This next installment went back to the familiar open-world gameplay of the original, going back to the old but bringing in fresh new ideas at the same time. Nintendo's recently released console, the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, or SNES for short, allowed for these new concepts with its increased cartridge space and vastly improved technology. Good old Shigeru Miyamoto could further realize that real sense of adventure he wanted players to have. And one big thing that would definitely help to keep the players immersed in this experience was its lovely score composed by my man Koji Kondo. It's been said many times that the SNES's sound emulation was vastly superior to its competitor, the Sega Genesis. And while I have many fond memories of Sega Genesis's music and rocked out to many Sonic the Hedgehog tunes, I have to agree wholeheartedly with this idea. Now, the SNES didn't have the best sound emulation ever, and nowadays you can really tell that it was simply sampling real-world instruments. But still, back then, even a noticeable emulation was revolutionary, and there's just something charming and nostalgic about that synthesized sound today. Plus, there were many moments where you could hardly tell the difference. So, why does this matter? I mean, A Link to the Past was already well on its way to becoming the gaming masterpiece that it is today. But the sound design of the game is something that would help solidify memory upon memory within the minds and hearts of gamers new and old. Gone were the clearly synthesized sounds of the NES, and in came the orchestral themes that alone are catchy enough to justify replaying the game many, many times. From the epic title screen, the revamped overworld theme of the original Zelda, that creepy-ass church music, that calm-ass Kakariko Village theme, those weird wacky tunes in the fortune teller's tent in the witch's hut, that suspenseful rain music, god that was awesome, that jingle for the Master Sword that would only get better with time, time get it, and especially, the introduction of one little tune that was destined to echo throughout the many ages of the Zelda timeline. Yeah, you know what it is. Hit it! It's none other than Zelda's Lullaby. You can call me an oversensitive Zelda fan if you want, but I'll be damned if this sweet song hasn't made me tear up more than a few times. There's just something so pure about it. Something that tells you that no matter how big on the scale your mission may seem, it'll all be fine in the end because you're doing it for her, Princess Zelda. It is her song after all. Even hearing it in this game in its most primitive form, it's still enough to evoke nostalgic gasms no matter how dated you make it sound. In fact, some people might like that more. The music in this game gave off a sense of adventure like no game ever had before, so much so that Sega even tried to emulate it. No, seriously, look this game up. Yeah, where's your Nintendo tagline now, Sega? For all it brought to the table, it was and still is hailed as one of, if not the, best Zelda game of all time. Do I agree with this claim? Kinda. I did enjoy A Link to the Past, but its open world was just not something I was used to, and the controls, though good for their time, don't exactly hold up 100%, especially when compared to the game's sequel. I eventually would come back to this game, and though I never got around to completing it, I enjoyed all the wonder and mystery this adventure had to offer. And for all that it did offer, yes, it technically is the best Zelda game of all time, but my heart is reserved for one specific game in the series. The first Zelda game I would ever play. The first Zelda game I would ever complete. The first game I would ever complete. No, what do you know? It's up next. So, let's save all the sentiment for the next episode, shall we? Until then, keep the Zelda music playing, people. No matter where it's playing with power. But, what's that? It's an S joke. Damn it!